everyone, in this video we're going to be working on pelvic stability. So this is great for people who have back pain, want to strengthen their core and strengthen their backs. So we're going to start by lying down, and you're going to roll your spine down vertebrae by vertebrae. We're going to have our feet on the mat. Shoulders are wide, neck is long. If you have back pain and you want to put something underneath the small of your back, go for it. A towel will do, anything just to keep you supported. A pillow is good too. And we're going to just start by bringing our arms over our shoulders. And you're going to take one arm and then exhale it back to 90. So you're going to inhale and exhale the arm back. So as you do this movement, try and keep your ribs down into the mat. You don't want to let them start to pop up. You want to keep everything pulling down. You should feel your core working to keep your ribs down, and this is teaching us how to keep our spine in a neutral position as we move our arms back over our head. So we're going to do a couple more. You're going to exhale as the arm comes up to the center. And again, exhale back to center. Two more. One more. Really reaching through the fingers, trying to find the muscles and the activation coming from behind the shoulders. So we're not keeping our shoulders in our ears, they're down and drawing down our spines. Then we're going to take both arms and do the same thing. So we're exhaling and bringing both arms evenly back to neutral position. And inhale as they go back, keeping those ribs down into the mat, and exhaling as they come back to 90. And again, inhale, find the stretch, and exhale back to 90. Try and keep your pelvis in a neutral position, so tailbone, the pelvis is flat. And we're going to do 3 more like this. So you're going to inhale and exhale back to 90. And again, 2 more. Last one. Great. Now you're going to bring your arms down to your sides. Your shoulders are wide. I definitely feel the opening in my upper body. So we're going to bring one leg into tabletop and lower it down. So you're going to exhale as your leg comes up and inhale as it comes down. So you're exhaling and inhale. You really want to try and keep that leg, knee over hip, and the leg in a 90-degree position, moving from the pelvis. So it's a hip hinge. It's not a knee lift. So try and keep everything still and really use your core to pull that leg up. For 5. And inhale, exhale. And 4, keeping the hips still. And 3. And 2. 1 more. Shoulders are wide. Abs are in. Good. Now we're going to bring both legs up into tabletop, and we're going to reach one leg out and exhale it in. And reach one leg out and exhale it in. If you feel any popping in your hips, that just means that you need to let your leg come up more instead of down. So just notice where everything is in your body. Try and keep everything still. The only thing that's moving are your legs. Ribs are down. Abs are in. So we inhale as the leg extends, and exhale as it comes in. I'm already shaking. And if you're doing this with purpose, this is not an easy exercise. This whole routine, actually. So 3 more. And exhale. And 2. Abs are in. 1 more. Great, lower the legs down. Now we're going to take one leg into tabletop. So you're going to have both arms up back to that 90 position, reaching and exhaling it back to center. And coming into tabletop, the arm reaches overhead and exhale back to center. Really pulling the core in, trying to keep everything still. This is really teaching us how to keep the abs in while the hips are still. 2 more. And again. Final one. Now to add on to that, bring both legs into tabletop. You're going to reach the opposite arm out as a leg reaches away. So you're reaching out and exhaling it back in. Out, keeping the hips still, trying to keep those ribs down. Try and bring everything into the midline at the same time. Really reaching through the toes and the fingers. If your abs aren't shaking yet, really keep pulling them deeper and deeper with control, moving at a steady pace. Great, lower everything down. From here, we are then going to find our center again. Take a deep breath. You're going to let your knees fall slightly to the left while keeping your hips down into the mat and using your breath to pull your legs back into the center. So you're going to keep those hips grounded into the mat. Exhale, bring your knees back into the center. And again, so your hips are down. It's easy for them to lift off. The idea here is not to get so much of a stretch, but really learn how to keep those hips grounded into the mat. You can keep them hip width apart and just kind of rotate in the hip socket and then exhale back into the center. So we're going to do 6 like this. It's a sway, but it's not a sway because your hips are not moving. It's a sway of the knees. It's hard to keep them still. I definitely need to work on it. You want to, and also try to keep the hips down and not hiking up. So if you can let them move, but they want to hike, you're now still going too far. So the movement is pretty small. And use those obliques to pull in with the breath. I'm going to say 2 more here. 1. And 1. Last move. And again. So now we take both legs up into tabletop and do the same exact thing that we just did, but now they're off the mat. So you're going to let your knees float slightly to the right. Exhale, bring them into the center. Let them go slightly to the left. Exhale into center. Keep those shoulders wide, neck is long. And center. The more you can keep your knees in a 90-degree angle, the more work you're going to get. If you need to bring your knees in towards your body more like this, that's okay, but you're not going to feel the core engagement as much. So work towards moving them away from the center. And again. Couple more. Let's do 3 more each side. And again. Relax your shoulders. If you need to press your hands into the mat, go for it to help ground you. Last one. And again. Good. Lowering everything down with control. And then we're going to place our hands underneath our heads. Our feet are hip width apart. We're going to lift and lower. So you're going to exhale deep in the abs. Head is heavy in the hands and lowering it down. 3. And inhale down. Imagine there's an orange underneath your chin, so it's giving you space. Exhale. Try and lift the shoulder blades off the mat. And 5. I want to see total control. 4. How slow can you lift and how slow can you lower? Exhale. 3. And 2. 1 more. Now stay up here. We're going to do a little bit more of a pulsing exercise. You're going to go 5, 4, exhale 3, and 2, and 1. Stay up, hold it, and lower down an inch. Exhale up an inch. And exhale again. And 3. Exhale 4. And 5, lower everything down with control. Good. Bring your knees into your chest. Give it a little rock back and forth if you want to. And then you're going to place your feet back on the mat. Shoulders are down. You're going to lift your hips up and make sure that your shoulders are away from your ears. So lengthen your neck. Lift the hips up. Keep the ribs right underneath. It's a long line. Knees under. Everything is square. And then lower it down. No articulating here. This is just a lift and a lower. So you're lifting, you're holding, your neck is long, and lower it down. Try and keep all toes on the mat, and we lift. Engage the glutes and lower it down. We're going to do 7 more. So we lift and lowering it down. And again, lift. Squeeze the glutes, keep your neck long, and down. And 5. Exhale, 4. Wide shoulders, and 3. Lift again, 2. Try and make sure that the hips are square when they're lifted, so one hip isn't dipping. And again, last one. Whew, feeling the burn. Now from here, you're going to stay in this position, making sure that your hips are level. You're going to lift a heel and lower it down. Lift the other heel, lower it down. Lift and down, really keeping everything square, so the only thing that's moving is your foot, the heel. And lift. This burns. Are your hips still? Is your neck long? 2 more. Lifting, lower, lift, lower. 1 more. Lift, lower. Keep those shoulders long, lower, and lower everything down. Whew. I felt that. I don't know about you, but I know I did. So now from here, you're going to lift again, keep the shoulders down, and we are going to take the foot off the mat and lower it down. So this is very important to keep those hips still. It will show us where our imbalances are. So some people are weaker on one side than on the other, especially in their glute region. And this is kind of going to tell us whether or not that's the case. So lifting, lower. So we're going to lift and lower, keeping everything still. Really find that focus. Lifting and lowering. 3 more each side. 1 and 1. It's easier for me to do it on the left than the right. 1 and 1. Last one. And good. Lower everything down. Roll the spine up with control. Grab onto your feet or your ankles for a stretch. Try and lengthen the spine. So really ground your sit bones and feel the length. Sit up tall. We're going to go into the quadruped position. And your hands are going to be right underneath your shoulders. Your knees are right underneath your hips. And you're going to reach an arm out and bring it back under. As the arm reaches out, you're keeping your core engaged, and you're not swaying from left to right. You're keeping everything still. This is exactly what we did when we were lying down, but now we're on all fours. Good, so now we're going to do it with the leg. You're going to reach the leg out and bend it in, keeping the hips still. And I like to slide my leg out so that I know everything is staying even and still. I'm going to kind of crawl forward because I'm touching the uncomfortable concrete. And we're going to slide it out and bend it in. And let's do 2 more each side, exhaling. As we come back in, long neck. 1 more. And final one. Now we're going to put it together and do opposite arm, opposite leg. So you're going to slide the arm out, the leg out, lift, tap, bend it in. Reach out, lift, tap, bend it in. Reach, down, and in. Exhale out, up, down, and in, out, down, and in. Again, we reach, lift, keep those hips still. The breath and the core are working in unison. 1 more each side, reaching out, down, and in. Final one. And in. Good. Now, just take a moment. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. You just completed your pelvic stability series, and I hope you feel strong and stable.